FOMO, the fear of missing out. This is something that almost everyone in the fitness industry is plagued by right now due to the huge amounts of content being pumped out every single day on what is more optimal, what is not. Crazy amounts of stupid studies coming out every single day, changing their minds all the fucking time. You don't even know where left or right is, and I'll reassure you that if you're getting entrenched, if you're getting lost in this information overload, that it will cost you years of fucking gains, as it has been the case with me. FOMO manifests itself into program hopping, exercise hopping, which simply means that you're constantly changing your shit instead of sticking to the fucking plan, which is almost an ADHD type of behavior where you're constantly looking for a new best next thing that could absolutely blow up your physique, which will not happen. There is no magic bullet, there's no magic trick that will boost your gains from one day to another. Everything that works or will ever work has been already done for decades. You may have to search it, you may have to find it, but it is there. You will not have to wait for it to come out. The next new study won't change your fucking life. The next new reel or YouTube video won't change your fucking gains. Influencers are constantly taking advantage of your desire to learn something new, to better yourself in the sport of bodybuilding, which is, if you're watching this video, pretty sure your passion. And they're taking this advantage by producing bullshit content, constantly trying to reinvent the wheel, instead of preaching the basics. In my opinion, after going from a complete bro, just doing barbell bench presses, deadlifts, squats, and etc., converting to optimal training or science-based training, it will definitely give you better gains and with a more efficient manner over the years and decades to come. Your muscles are getting hit more effectively due to a better understanding of biomechanics, leverages, resistance profiles, and stuff like that. Your joints will definitely feel better due to picking exercises that align them, and if you're following the right content creators and or coaches, you're choosing an appropriate volume x frequency, which, as I said, will definitely give you more gains in the years and decades to come. But it fucking takes years and decades. You cannot expect to find something more optimal than what you're doing right now and that it will completely blow up your fucking physique. Will this increase in gains by training more optimally and being smarter be significant? I think yes, but my idea of significant is just maybe 5% better because I want to maximize my muscle growth. If you're not interested in that, you don't have to brainfuck yourself to achieve that. Suboptimal consistency, getting the basics right, is much better than optimal perfection and ending up in program hopping. It doesn't matter if an exercise or program or training approach is more optimal than the other, because if you're not actually fucking sticking to the plan for months, 6 months is like the bare minimum, for years and decades to come, of course you can change your mind on the way. But if you're not sticking to the fucking plan and you're jumping from one shiny object to another, you will not get any of the benefits that optimal training could give you. So you spent all this time, you've put in so much fucking hours to upgrade your knowledge, to learn new things, to make your training more optimal, to get more jacked. But at the end of the day, due to you being so overloaded by information, you don't know what the fuck is going on, you don't know where left or right is, and you're just turning around in circles instead of doing what actually fucking works. If you actually dedicate yourself to a program instead of hopping from one to another, and you do that with adherence, with hard fucking work, and passion to get yourself as jacked as fucking possible, someone who does that with a suboptimal fucking program will get years of fucking better results than someone who's training more optimally but can't decide what the fuck to pick. If you execute a suboptimal program perfectly, you're really fucking focusing on progressing your lifts day in and day out, and you're at least getting the basics right, of course, nutrition, sleep, etc. But your exercise selection is somewhat good. You don't need to research the best next exercise to bring up your chest. The standard fucking barbell bench press still works. It hasn't been patched to the fucking oblivion. Of course, there are better options for pure hypertrophy, like machines and even the Smith machine. But still, if you execute those exercises and the program perfectly, you will make years better gains than someone who is more optimal on paper, who is picking the best exercise, even considering resistance profiles, biomechanics, leverages and shit like that. If that optimal obsessed lifter is constantly jumping from one thing to another and he's not focusing, progressing his lifts and getting stronger over long periods of time with standardized form and shit like that, you will not get any gains due to you picking new exercises and a new program every single time. That resets the neural adaptations you get when doing a new exercise, which simply means that in the first 1 to 3 weeks, you're really learning that new movement, integrating it into your muscle memory and stuff like that. So you're getting stronger faster in the first 3 weeks, but after that your strength plateaus, and when that strength plateaus and your progress slows down, that is actually the progress and strength and rep gains that actually matter, due to that being an actual increase in muscle instead of just you being adapted to the movement. At the end of the day, progress is king. No matter what the fuck you do, if you progress your lifts, you will grow. Doesn't matter whether it's optimal, suboptimal, whatever the fuck. Progressive overload is not the cause of hypertrophy. It doesn't mean that you can decide to get stronger in a rep or with weights. It is the effect of hypertrophy. If you're not actually getting fucking stronger on your lifts, without that neural adaptation progress type shit, you will not build any muscle. So you need to get stronger to build muscle. It is the most important measurable sign that gives you immediate feedback after just 1 or 2 weeks after running a new program or volume guidelines or whatever the fuck, that you are doing good and that you don't need to change shit. If you're progressing, you are building muscle. Just don't overthink it. Which means that you should find excitement in that progression and not novelty. Make sure to set rep PR goals in the 4-day rep range and really focus in every single fucking session, day in and day out, to beat your numbers and to eventually reach that PR goal at the end of your current bulk. This should be your source of happiness, of excitement, of fun when it comes to the gym. Not trying that new program, not trying that new weird exercise. That shit won't get you anywhere. And trust you, I'm speaking from my own fucking experience. One thing that optimal training, FOMO, or program exercise hoppers have in common is that they're not fucking tracking their lifts, they're not logbooking their lifts, they're not writing down how many reps they did, what setting they used to standardize their form, how much weight they used. They're just going to the gym, doing whatever the fuck, which won't work. Again, you need to progress your lifts, which means that you will need to buy yourself a paper logbook to write your shit down, or get yourself an app to do that. Cannot get stronger without knowing what the fuck you did last time. Now, before completely changing your program and training approach after seeing that new study, or switching your beloved exercise that has been progressing over weeks and months for that new shiny thing that you will also replace after some weeks go by, make sure to ask yourself these questions before you decide to change anything. But if you want to hand over the decision-making aspect of bodybuilding to a coach and just focus on what is fun, which is training as hard as humanly possible and executing a well-written program where FOMO and your desire to try that new shiny object will be non-existent, make sure to check out my coaching services down below. See you, brother, in the next video.